Looks like Goku is in luck after meeting Yamoshi. He will learn a new technique, the true power of Saiyan God, something he has never seen. He's gonna learn it from the most beautiful Saiyan, known as Yamoshi. So grab a bucket of popcorn and your soda and come with me. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video. Well, without further ado, let the story begin. In the 7th universe. Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely in one of the villages on the planet Namek, it was possible to see that in the house where Yamoshi lived, there was Beerus, Whis, Son Goku, and Vegeta, and next to them was the village elder Yuhiko, who was the leader of that village, while Yamoshi was the guardian and responsible for training all the Namekian warriors. Inside Yamoshi's residence, it was possible to see that the atmosphere in the residence was very heavy. The conversation between them had reached a point that did not please the ancestor of the Saiyans very much, and thanks to that the atmosphere ended up getting pretty heavy. Yuhiko spoke.
Let's leave the past in the past. Now that you've asked what you wanted to know, it's time for us to ask what you want in our village, and especially, what do you want with Yamoshi?
Asked the elder of that village, as he looked steadily at the beings in front of her. Vegeta said, "Don't get me wrong, but our main subject is with Yamoshi, and I don't think you should get involved in something that is none of your business or interest, but it's nothing personal," said the Prince of Saiyans with a more arrogant tone than usual. After all, Vegeta didn't like talking to weaklings or vermin in his opinion. Yamoshi spoke.
You are weaker than I imagined. If you were strong enough, or had managed to master at least the power of the Super Saiyan God, you could feel the power of a deity without being transformed, said the goddess of Saiyans in a tone more fun while looking at the members of her race.
Goku said,
I didn't understand very well. What did Yamoshi mean by that, Whis?
Asked the Saiyan looking at the angel of his universe.
Whis said, Use it in your Super Saiyan God forms, and you two will understand what Yamoshi meant, said the angel, giving a slight look to the two Saiyans.
Goku and Vegeta didn't understand what was happening, but they both obeyed Whis and transformed into Super Saiyan God. And in doing so, the Saiyans felt an enormous amount of ki being released by Yuhiko, who wasn't even making an effort to do so. Yuhiko said,
The elders of this village are not decided just because they are smart and know how to solve problems, but also the elders must be the strongest among the Namekians. And I am an ancient elder, and during that time, I have already been challenged countless times. None of them were able to defeat me. Yamoshi is the strongest in the village, but she's not a Namekian. She can't be an elder. But I can, and that's why I'm the second strongest person in this village. So I recommend that you don't treat me that way, or I'll have to crush you.
Yuhiko spoke in a serious tone as he looked at both Saiyans, who unconsciously trembled when they felt the gaze of the old woman. Vegeta thought, I just trembled like this before, when I said that Bulma was getting old and fat, and even though she was a normal human, I felt very scared. But this one's scaring me because Yuhiko really can kill me if she wants to, thought the Prince of Saiyans while looking with a certain fear at the power of the Namekian elder.
Yamoshi said, Yuhiko, you can stop releasing your energy now. After all, they are our hosts, and you always complain here when I don't receive my guests properly, so behave yourself.
Yamoshi spoke as she approached and placed one of her hands on the shoulder of the elder woman, who closed her eyes and sighed, making the energy that was being emanated suddenly disappear.
Yuhiko said, You calling me out for not being a good hostess is even ironic, considering you literally threw the representative of the Black Namekians out of your house with your usual Saiyan violence. And don't think we won't have a long talk later about it, Yamoshi,
Yuhiko said while staring at her childhood friend, who turned her face away and started whistling, pretending the message hadn't been meant for her.
Yamoshi said, Well, leaving this unpleasant moment about my past and the lack of power of these two Saiyans aside, I'd like to know what you want with me and Yuhiko. You'll stay and listen to everything. After all, she's the elder of the village. I'm the guardian, and anything I do, I need her permission. So say what you want, and if I think it deserves my attention, and Yuhiko lets me, I'll help you. But if it doesn't happen, you leave this village, and don't bother me again,
Yamoshi said, taking the chair where she was sitting before and sitting on it again.
Beerus said,
In a summarized way, Frieza, the last of the Arcosians, is now very powerful, surpassing the power of Goku and Vegeta, who have the power of Ultra Instinct and Superior Ego respectively.
Even these two Saiyans possess great power in their hands. They could not face Frieza, who got a new power that he named Black Frieza. And using that power, he managed to humiliate Goku and Vegeta with just one blow. So he came after you, Yamoshi, so you could train these two Saiyans to fight Frieza. Because even though I know how dangerous Frieza is, I'm not gonna do anything to help these two. It was these two Saiyans who caused it, so they'll solve the problem. Explained the 7th Universe God of Destruction to Yamoshi and Yuhiko, who thought about it a bit. Yuhiko said, Frieza, the Arconian, who had destroyed our planet in the past, who was later killed and then revived, and then killed again, became a threat again. All because of you two. Because you didn't know how to leave someone dead, definitely dead. And now it comes to our village with the intention of asking Yamoshi to train the two of you to solve the problem you caused yourself. And still you dare to insult me. Have I recapitulated it well, or am I missing some important information? Asked the old woman in a sarcastic tone when she found out what those two Saiyans without education or respect had done. Vegeta said, No, you recounted it very well. It's our current situation created solely and exclusively by Kakarot, who called Frieza to the Tournament of Power, promising to bring him back to life, said the Prince of Saiyans while looking at his Saiyan rival who just scratched his head on his back in embarrassment. Goku said, Well, in my defense I promised to revive Frieza, but who revived himself was Whis at the behest of Mr. Beerus, said the Saiyan while looking at the God of Destruction of the Universe, who just turned his face. Beerus said, Frieza is already alive, so the important thing is not who was responsible for bringing him back to life. What matters now is whether Yamoshi is going to train you two Saiyans to kill Frieza. And at this time, it's gonna be permanent, because after I kill him, I'm going to hell myself to erase Frieza's existence for all eternity, spoke the God of Destruction while looking at the Saiyans, and then at Yamoshi, who had his hands behind his head. Yamoshi said, Well, I don't mind teaching these two to use the power of the Super Saiyan God in a state above those they have, but I already say that my training is not light, so you'll have to follow all my orders to the letter. If not, I'll send you away, Yamoshi said while looking at the two Saiyans who were in front of her. Goku said, Right, but before you start training me and Vegeta, I'd like to fight with you a bit to find out how far my power is from your power. The Saiyan spoke while getting up and pumping his fists excited, thinking about facing the first goddess of Saiyans. Whis said, Mr. Goku seems to be very excited as always, said the angel looking at the Saiyan and seeing that he was excited to face the oldest ancestor of the Saiyans. Yamoshi said, Well, I wasn't planning to fight anyone today, but if you want to face me, then let's fight. And you can also come, Mr. Prince of the Saiyans, Yamoshi said while getting up, but at that moment, Yuhiko held her wrist preventing her from leaving the place. Yuhiko said, You will fight, yes, but it won't be with Yamoshi. It will be with me, because I'm still offended by the way the prince spoke to me, and I want to hit someone to de-stress. Nothing better than hitting a Saiyan, because of some Saiyans I'm stressed, Yuhiko said as she stood up and looked at her childhood friend who just gave a smile. Yamoshi said, Well, it looks like you two already have someone to fight with, so let's go to the arena where you can fight without worrying about anything, said the woman as she left the place along with everyone else. With that, we'll end today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes in the video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you another day, guys!